going to grab a quick word with Dave if he's there. Hi, Dave. Phenomenal race.
It was a really good race. That was one of the most enjoyable races I've ever had around here. Really enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, you're 17 times winning around here. I mean, you know your way around here, and I mean, it seems that the speeds every year, they seem to be getting quicker and quicker. And I mean, I know you broke the lap record on your last lap.
Yeah, that was some last lap, and I kept watching my boards, and nothing was happening. It was the same each time, and I thought, how can I be riding this much harder and not making any ground? And of course, the boys it was like so even that last lap between us, and I don't know what it was, but it was something like 0.02 of a second splitting us. And well, I'm delighted to have nailed the lap record down on that last lap, and I hope the boys are happy enough with what they've got.
I mean, they've got 3 wins. They've got a lot to catch up with you with 17.
I am an old timer though, and I've had my first win in 1989. It's been a long old road, and you have your ups and downs like the guys did with their crash last year. I had the same on 2 occasions, but if you made a good stuff, you bounce back, and that's it.
Well, we'll have a word with Benji. So what's Dave like to ride with?
Smooth as silk.
Now,
I didn't think I was that last lap.
Is he another one like Dan Sale that doesn't say a lot?
I do say a lot when I get a bit confident, but there's a load of people here, isn't there?
He's just a boy.
I mean, obviously it's. Oh, sorry, mate. It's your first TT with Dave, and I mean the experience that Dave's got around here certainly got to give you a lot of confidence on the chair.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it fills you with confidence knowing that you're with somebody who knows what they're doing, and who's fast, smooth. You know, it's when he asked me to ride with him, it was unbelievable. You know, I've grown up watching him. He won his first TT when I was 2. And you know, that's how long he's been around. He knows his way around. He knows his stuff. He's real good, and you know, for him to have the trust in me to go from 103 to nearly 117 is just, well, people say to be a passenger you have to be mad, but Tom will agree with me, to be a driver you have to be mad, because I couldn't imagine coming into the bottom of Bigarro thinking, do you know what, I hope that little squirt's out for the left.
But now you've got a record yourself. The partnership between you is fastest lap round the TT course. I mean, that must be special.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's, me and Dave have always worked well together. You know, when we're going around any circuit, we go around certain corners, and I think I've messed up a bit, and he comes in and goes, "Oh, you did brilliant there." I thought I was a bit all over the place, and but when you get it right, like he said the other night on Friday, the fastest he's ever been through Quarry Bends. The first couple of nights I was moving too early for the left, I know I was, because the bike was whipping into me, so I stayed right for a bit longer. Then went left, and he goes, "Do you know what? That's the fastest I've ever been through there," and it felt good. You know when it's good because it feels good.
Yeah, and I think the guys, even Ben and Tom, will say that, and we said that in the pit garage this morning, that Tom knows when Ben's on it, and you go into certain corners and you get it right. But I mean, what a fantastic day! The weather's been superb. We've had some great racing, and I mean, you are the old master around the TT course. 17 wins. I mean, you're going to come back next year?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's funny. It's how can I put it? It's emotional. The whole thing. It doesn't matter how many times you do it. Just.
I think that's one of the things that, and probably what Dave is trying to explain, the TT is so special. And it's so special to these guys. I mean, the number of years that Dave's been doing it and the number of wins that he's got, it's just that drug that keeps pulling you back and wanting you to do it.
It makes me feel his age.
Well, strangely enough, me and Dave are about the same age, so...
Maybe you ought to start racing.
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should. But I couldn't drive as fast as you.
Oh, God. It's been a roller coaster week. We've practiced week for everybody. When when the weather starts playing a part, it just messes your whole plan up. Everything goes down the drain, and things have to be changed, and you either make a right decision or a wrong decision. And it's just luck of the draw with this place. But like, look at this today. You could be in Spain, couldn't you? It's fantastic.
So race 1, I mean, obviously, first lap.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of people here sort of know, but I mean, yeah, you were on the pace. But what sort of happened race 1?
My rear wheel bearing collapsed. It was something that I'd actually done to the bike to try and make it better that caused the thing to break. So it really was down to me. I learned from it again.
I must admit, mate, we were standing here, and when we heard Molyneux out, there was a cheer that went up.
Oh, I bet there was. I'm sure there was. But that's life, isn't it? And the good bit about this today is that I'm really good friends with Ben and Tom, and it's one of them it doesn't matter situations. You know, I'm happy to be where I am. You know, when you ride that hard round here, you're right on the edge. It's quite crazy, really. But when you look back over it, but if you love it and you do it, that's the end of it. You know, you just love it and do it. But you know, about an hour before the race, I've got the nerves of a 16-year-old, and that doesn't change. And I'm really happy with our performance today. I'm happier with Ben's performance because he's just proved himself to be a world-class passenger.
And I think that's the thing. I mean, 17 wins round here. I mean, Ben and Tom there, they've got 3, and I mean, I think they've certainly shown their class round the TT course, coming from sort of being a world champions, and Claff would say himself that when he won the world championship in 2001, he thought he could come to the Isle of Man, come to the TT races and win it in his first year. And we know that isn't true, and that doesn't happen because you need the circuit knowledge. So I mean,
basically you need the same talent, but the patience to stick it out. And this is what these Klaus and these lads have had, is the patience to go with it and adapt to it. If you've got the talent to ride a sidecar, you're going to win it, and that's it. It's just patience and time, you know.
We thought it was just the fact that they had Manx gas written on it. No?
Well then, that could be a thing.
Well, we did actually have Manx gas on your sidecar one year.
In 2009, I was delighted to have Manx gas sponsorship. It was brilliant.
And did we win?
We won.
I think the difference that you have certainly with the sidecars is against the solos. I mean, the solos, a lot of it you see today where you've got super stock bikes that come out of a showroom and they just change the forks, they put some brakes on it, and they go down the road. These guys build it from scratch.
Well, in that first race, because of the problem I had, it ruined the swinging arm of the bike. Well, you know, that was it. It was wrecked. A new thing had to be constructed, and we spent like 12 hours yesterday just going, oh my God, we've got to fix this bloody thing. And it was a major job. It wasn't, oh, we'll just put a new one in. It was a lot of work, a lot of welding and manufacturing, and I'm lucky to have a local guy, John Roy, down on the airfield that I'm based on, and I just knocked him up and said, I need a stub axle making for the back end. No problem, Dave. And he set about making it and produced this thing by 8 o'clock this morning, and that was it. Job done. So
brand new part on the bike this morning, and you go out there.
That's why we didn't practice yesterday. We didn't actually have a bike to ride, but we had to get these bits made, and it's either I do them or I get the guys around the yard to do them, and we've got a good team, you know, good special bunch of guys that are eccentric but special, you know.
But one of the things the guys, that when we were talking today at the pit garage, and we said that practice week hadn't been brilliant this week, but when you look at it, we always feel from a sidecar point of view. I mean, the bikes seem to always come first. They always get the early practices, and by the time sideys come out, the weather's deteriorated and stuff like that. And when you look at, you probably, certainly with Ben and Tom this year, they only did actually 4 practice laps.
Yeah.
And that's from the year before. And then to go out and do a race and the race speed that we were doing, and unfortunately in the first race you sort of broke down, but obviously it's the same for everybody, but that must be so hard. You've got a lot of track knowledge, obviously, Dave.
Yeah,
being here and being local, but that must be so hard for everybody. You just don't get the practice times that you need.
No, we were the same. I don't know. Did we do 4 laps? I can't remember, but 4 or 5 laps practice, and it just messes everything up. It really is difficult to adjust how you're going to run your engines for each race and stuff like that. You know, you have a practice engine, a race engine for race 1, a race engine for race 2, and we've actually got a new engine sat on the bench there now, which is a bonus for the rest of the year. But you know, we were tossing the coin: do we use our practice engine because we'd only done 5 laps on it, or do we use our other engine because we'd done 1 lap on it to get it run in for the first race?